The dashboard of your car is like a cockpit filled with tiny alerts and signals, silently keeping track of your vehicle's health. Each light, color, and symbol tells a story about your car's performance, safety, or potential trouble waiting to strike. Ignoring them, that could mean disaster, sometimes in minutes. Modern vehicles are packed with electronic systems controlled by onboard computers, sensors, and warning lights. The most important colors to know: red, orange, or yellow, green, and blue. Each color signals a different level of urgency. Red warning lights, the ultimate stop everything alert. This color means there's a critical issue that demands your immediate attention. Continuing to drive could cause severe damage or even put your life at risk. Orange or yellow lights. These are cautionary alerts. They mean your car has detected something unusual, usually in the engine management system. Driving is possible, but getting your car checked as soon as possible is essential. Green or blue lights. These are informational. Systems are active, functioning correctly, and you can relax, at least until something changes. In the next sections, we'll break down every major dashboard, warning light, and symbol, covering their meaning, why they appear, what happens if you ignore them, and actionable steps you can take. We'll cover critical warning symbols, things like engine temperature, oil pressure, and battery warnings. Safety symbols, seat belts, airbags, traction control, and brake alerts. Light symbols, headlights, high beams, fog lights, and adaptive lighting. Advanced feature symbols, lane assist, cruise control, EV mode, winter mode, and more. By the end of this guide, you'll not only understand what every dashboard light means, but also learn how to respond immediately to protect your car, your safety, and your wallet. Let's start with the most urgent life and death red warning lights first. Critical red warning lights. Engine temperature. Warning light. What it means: your engine is overheating, which can destroy components in minutes. Common causes: low coolant, leaks, broken water pump, clogged radiator, or low engine oil. Immediate action: pull over safely, turn off the engine, and let it cool. Never drive while the engine is overheating. Pro tip: keep a spare bottle of coolant and a gallon of water in the trunk for emergencies. Battery/charging system. Warning light. What it means: the alternator or battery isn't supplying enough power. Why it appears: dead battery, faulty alternator, wiring issues. Immediate action: check connections, clean corrosion, tighten terminals. If the light remains, your alternator might be failing. Driving without a working charging system risks leaving you stranded. Oil pressure. Warning light. What it means: oil is low or not circulating, which can destroy your engine. Action: pull over immediately and check oil levels. If full, it may be a faulty sensor, clogged filter, or failing oil pump. Brake warning light. What it means: either the parking brake is engaged or hydraulic pressure is low. Action: if it stays on after releasing the handbrake, avoid driving and have brakes inspected immediately. Transmission temperature warning light. What it means: transmission fluid is overheating. Stop driving, allow cooling, and check fluid levels. Overheating transmissions are expensive nightmares. Safety symbols. Your car isn't just a machine, it's a sophisticated safety fortress. But if the warning lights in this section appear, your safety could be compromised. Ignoring them is risky, and some could literally save your life if you respond in time. Tire pressure warning light, TPMS. What it means: one or more tires are dangerously underinflated. Why it happens: slow leaks, punctures, or temperature changes. Low tire pressure reduces grip, increases wear, and can cause blowouts. Action: check all tires immediately with a gauge, inflate as needed, and inspect for damage. Security alert, Charge anti-theft light. What it means: your car's security system is active, or it doesn't recognize your key. Why it appears: weak key fob battery, smart key issues, or a system glitch. Action: replace the key battery or consult your manual. If ignored, you might be unable to start your car. Or worse, it could trigger theft mode. Airbag SRS warning light. What it means: one or more airbags may not deploy in a crash. Why it appears: faulty sensors, prior deployment, or computer errors. Action: stop driving until inspected. Driving with a disabled airbag system is a serious risk in accidents. Reduced engine power. Limp mode. What it means: the engine's computer has limited power to prevent damage. Why it appears: faulty throttle, fuel system issues, or sensor errors. Action: safe to drive short distances at low speeds, but fix ASAP. Ignoring it could lead to total engine failure. Seat belt indicator. What it means: a driver or passenger is not buckled up. Action: always buckle up. If it stays on when buckled, sensors may be damaged and need replacement. Brake and traction control lights. Brake warning light indicates low fluid or brake system faults. Traction control. Light shows if your vehicle's grip control system is deactivated. Action: if multiple warnings are on simultaneously, drive cautiously and get inspected immediately. These systems are essential for safe stopping and cornering. Hill descent control and other advanced safety alerts. Hill descent control light indicates the system is active to help maintain safe downhill speed. Blind spot detection/lane departure. Warning alerts you to cars in blind spots or drifting lanes. Action: these systems aid safe driving, but don't replace vigilance. Always maintain control and pay attention. Trailer and tow hitch. Warnings. What it means: either the tow hitch is unlocked or the trailer's lights aren't functioning. Action: always secure your hitch and check trailer lights before towing. Ignoring it can be dangerous for you and other road users. Check engine/service engine. Soon lights check engine signals engine-related problems. Blinking indicates urgent attention is needed. Service engine soon indicates faults in engine, brake, traction, or suspension systems. Action: have your vehicle diagnosed immediately. Minor issues can escalate quickly into costly repairs. Oil change reminder. What it means: engine oil needs replacement. Action: regularly changing your oil prolongs engine life and prevents catastrophic failure. Ignoring it may lead to expensive repairs or total engine shutdown. These safety symbols are your first line of defense against vehicle failure and accidents. Even if your car seems fine, ignoring a warning can turn a small issue into a life-threatening or wallet-draining disaster. Section 4. Light symbols. Modern vehicles are packed with lighting technology, and their dashboard symbols are your guide to staying visible and safe. Ignoring these indicators can be shocking, especially at night or in poor weather. Low beam indicator. What it means: your dipped headlights are on. Action: ensure they are functioning correctly for night driving and reduce visibility conditions. High beam/auto high beam indicator. High beam. Lights are fully on. Don't blind other drivers. Auto high beam. System detects oncoming traffic and switches automatically. Check that both systems are working to avoid fines and accidents. Front and rear fog lights. What it means: fog lights are active to improve visibility in fog, snow, or rain. Action: only use in limited visibility to avoid blinding other drivers. Adaptive headlight system. What it means: headlights swivel to illuminate curves as you steer. Action: watch for malfunction indicators. Common causes are condensation or sensor failure. Side and rear lights, rain and light sensors. Side lights for low light visibility without full headlights. Rear fog lights makes your car more visible in dense fog. Rain/light sensors. Automatic wipers and lights may fail if sensors malfunction. Action: inspect if lights or wipers don't operate as expected automatically. Dashboard symbols often signal basic but essential functions. Missing these could lead to inconvenient or unsafe situations. Windshield/rear window defrost. What it means: defrosters are active. Clear ice or fog before driving. Washer fluid. Reminder. What it means: low windshield washer fluid. Action: Refill immediately to ensure clear visibility. Low fuel indicator. What it means: fuel is running low. Refuel immediately. Running out of fuel can damage fuel pumps. Key not detected. Keyless ignition. What it means: car cannot detect your key. Action: ensure the key fob is inside the vehicle and working. Replace batteries if needed. Hood/bonnet open. What it means: hood is not securely closed. Pull over and close properly to avoid accidents. Hazard lights. What it means: emergency flashers are active. Action: use only for temporary obstruction or emergency stops. Door ajar. What it means: one or more doors are not fully closed. Stop and close doors securely. Direction indicators. What it means: signals are flashing left or right. Always signal turns or lane changes to alert other drivers. Advanced feature symbols. Advanced technology in modern cars can feel futuristic, but ignoring dashboard alerts can lead to costly mistakes or accidents. Recirculated cabin air. What it means: AC is recirculating internal air to cool faster. Action: turn off if windows fog or air quality drops. Rear spoiler/park assist/lane assist. Rear spoiler warning indicates a fault in the spoiler system. Park assist. Light: system is active and steering for parking. Lane assist/lane departure alerts you if drifting from your lane. Always remain attentive. These systems assist but do not replace safe driving. Key fob battery low. Ignition warning. What it means: remote battery or ignition switch issue. Replace key battery or inspect ignition immediately. Hill descent control/forward collision. Warning: hill descent helps control speed downhill. Forward collision warning alerts to vehicles or obstacles ahead. Use is an aid, not a replacement for defensive driving. Eco driving indicator. What it means: you're driving efficiently. Adjust acceleration to maximize fuel economy. Cruise/adaptive cruise control. Cruise control maintains a set speed, maintains distance to the car in front. Always monitor traffic. These systems assist but do not replace driver judgment. Convertible roof. Brake hold. Blind spot indicators. Convertible roof. Lamp shows roof operation or fault. Automatically holds brakes in stop-and-go traffic. Alerts to vehicles in hard-to-see areas. Use safely and be aware of system status. Start-stop/speed limiter/EV mode. Start-stop saves fuel at traffic stops. Prevents exceeding preset speed. Vehicle operates on electric motor only. Engage appropriately for fuel savings and efficiency. Conclusion: ensures call to action. Understanding these warning lights isn't just convenient, it's life-saving. Modern dashboards are complex, but each symbol is designed to protect your vehicle and keep you safe on the road. Remember, red equals urgent, yellow/orange equals attention needed, green/blue equals active system. Never ignore warning lights. They are your car's way of talking to you. When most drivers think about dashboard lights, their mind jumps to the basics: the check engine light, the oil light, maybe the low fuel symbol. But modern cars are far more advanced, and buried within that glowing cluster of icons are lights so rare, so unusual, that many drivers have never even seen them activate. Yet when they do, they can spell the difference between a safe ride home and a catastrophic roadside emergency. Today, we're diving deep into these rare warning lights, the ones you probably won't find on a driver's license test, but absolutely need to understand if you want to keep yourself and your passengers safe. The diesel particulate filter, the DPF. Warning light. If you drive a diesel vehicle, this light is more than just a nuisance. It's your car's way of telling you that your emission system is choking. The DPF is a filter designed to trap harmful soot particles from the exhaust. Over time, it clogs, and your car expects you to fix it. Not by cleaning it with a rag, but often by driving in a certain way. Why it appears: short trips where the exhaust never gets hot enough, leading to soot buildup. Take the car on a longer highway drive. The elevated heat helps burn off excess soot in a process called regeneration. Ignore it. The engine will eventually choke, Enter limp mode, and repairing or replacing the filter could cost thousands. If you mostly drive in the city, make it a routine to give your car a highway sprint every week to keep the DPF happy. Power steering system warning light. Imagine cruising on the highway, and suddenly your steering wheel feels like it belongs to a truck from the 1950s. Heavy, unresponsive, almost impossible to turn. That's when this light becomes your lifeline. What it means: your power steering has failed or is about to fail. Low power steering fluid, pump failure, or in newer cars, an electronic power steering malfunction. If the light comes on, be prepared for difficult steering. Pull over safely and inspect fluid levels if applicable. Ignore it, and you may lose steering control at critical moments, like sharp turns or emergency maneuvers. Automatic transmission fault light. This one often looks like a gear with an exclamation mark inside. When it comes on, your transmission is waving a red flag. Why it appears: overheating, low fluid, faulty sensors, or internal gearbox failure. Action: stop immediately, let the transmission cool, and avoid further driving until checked. Transmission failures are among the most expensive repairs, and this little light is the warning bell before disaster. Catalytic converter overheating warning. In older Japanese cars, particularly models from Toyota and Nissan, you'll find a warning light most drivers never even knew existed: the catalytic converter overheat light. What it means: your catalytic converter is so hot it risks catching fire. Why it happens: unburnt fuel entering the exhaust due to misfires or engine problems. Action: stop the car immediately. This isn't optional. Driving could literally set your vehicle ablaze. Suspension system warning. Light air suspension and adaptive dampers are technological marvels until they fail. And when this light comes on, your ride may soon turn from smooth luxury to bone-rattling chaos. What it means: a fault in the air suspension system or adaptive dampers. Leaking air struts, faulty compressors, sensor issues. Drive cautiously, avoid high speeds or bumps, and get the system inspected. Ignore it, and you might suddenly find one side of your car sagging like a lopsided couch. AdBlue/DEF warning light. For modern diesel cars, particularly in Europe, this light is the ultimate countdown timer. AdBlue, or diesel exhaust fluid, is essential for reducing emissions. If it runs out, many cars won't even start. Action: refill immediately when warned. Waiting until it's empty could leave you stranded. Steering lock. Warning light. Ever turn your key and find the wheel completely locked? This light is the silent culprit. What it means: a fault in the electronic steering lock system. Don't force it. Try restarting or consulting your manual. If the system fails, you won't be able to steer at all. Convertible roof system. Warning light. To drivers of convertibles, this light is more than cosmetic. It's a safety hazard in disguise. Why it matters: a roof stuck halfway isn't just embarrassing. It can obstruct your view, drain your battery, or expose delicate mechanics to damage. Stop operating the roof immediately if this light appears. Hybrid drive system warning. Light for hybrid and electric vehicles. This warning symbol often looks like a car with an exclamation mark inside. Fault in the hybrid battery, inverter, or motor. Pull over safely and consult service immediately. Hybrid systems are complex, and continued driving can escalate costs. Collision detection shouts your automatic braking. Warning light. In newer cars equipped with radar and cameras, this light signals something terrifying. Your automatic braking system may not respond when you need it most. Dirty sensors, faulty cameras, or system errors. Clean sensors and restart the car. If unresolved, have it checked. Ignore it, and your safety net vanishes in emergencies. Pedestrian detection system warning light. This one is rare but critical. Your car's ability to spot pedestrians ahead may be compromised. Action: be extra vigilant. Without this system, your reaction time is the only line of defense. A WD/4WD system. Warning light. Off-roaders, pay attention. This symbol warns that your all-wheel drive system is malfunctioning. Why it matters. Driving with a faulty AWD system can damage the transfer case or differentials. Stick to safe, low-stress driving until inspected. Glow plug, preheat warning light, diesel engines. This spiral-shaped light appears before starting a diesel engine. Ignore it and you'll struggle to start the car, especially in cold weather. Why it matters. Glow plugs preheat the combustion chamber for smooth ignition. Wait until it goes out before starting. If it flashes, the plugs may need replacement. Brake pad wear. Warning light. Your car is practically screaming, your brakes are running on borrowed time. Action, replace pads immediately. Worn pads reduce stopping power and damage rotors. Stability control system. Warning light. This often looks like a car skidding. When it flashes, the system is actively saving you from a spin-out. But if it stays on, your lifeline has been cut. Action, drive carefully until repaired. Without stability control, slippery roads become deadly. Trailer stability assist light. For those who tow, this is your safety net. It means your trailer stabilization system has failed. Why it matters. Trailers can fishtail violently at highway speeds. Reduce speed, increase caution, and repair quickly. Parking brake system. Fault light. In cars with electronic parking brakes, this symbol warns that your brake may not engage, or worse, may not release. Action, avoid parking on hills and get it inspected. Exhaust temperature. Warning light. In performance cars and heavy-duty vehicles, this rare light warns the exhaust is overheating. Action, stop driving. High exhaust temps can lead to fires or turbo failure. Fuel filter. Water trap. Warning light. Mostly found in diesel vehicles, this light warns water has entered the fuel filter. Why it matters. Water and fuel can destroy injectors and pumps. Drain or replace filter immediately. Security immobilizer warning light. This symbol, often a key inside a car outline, means your vehicle doesn't recognize the key or there's an immobilizer fault. Action, check your key fob battery or consult your manual. If ignored, your car may refuse to start entirely. These are the rare warning lights, symbols many drivers have never seen, but when they do, they're often caught completely unprepared. And remember, cars don't lie. Every light has a meaning, and every meaning is a message. Ignore the message, and you may pay the price with your wallet, your safety, or even your life. Real-life stories. What happens when you ignore? Warning lights. Warning lights don't just flicker on for fun. They appear because something serious is happening beneath the hood. But humans have a strange tendency. We ignore warnings until it's too late. What follows are real-world stories of everyday drivers who gambled with their dashboard lights. Some walked away with a lesson, others weren't so lucky. The ignored oil light. Meet Jason, a college student driving a hand-me-down Toyota Camry. One morning, the red oil can symbol appeared. Jason thought, "The car's still running fine. I'll deal with it later." He drove for 3 days, ignoring the flashing reminder. On the 4th day, as he merged onto the highway, the engine began knocking loudly. Seconds later, it seized completely, stranding him in rush-hour traffic. What went wrong? His car had leaked oil, and by continuing to drive, the engine's moving parts grinded metal on metal until catastrophic failure. The cost? A $3,000 engine replacement on a car worth barely $2,500. Lesson learned: the oil pressure light is a death sentence if ignored. The overheating nightmare. Samantha was driving her family's minivan on a summer road trip when the temperature gauge spiked and the red thermometer light flashed. She noticed steam rising but kept driving, hoping to reach the next exit. 10 minutes later, her radiator burst, spraying scalding coolant across the engine bay. The car stalled in the middle of nowhere, with 2 kids crying in the back seat. What went wrong? A small coolant leak became a catastrophic overheat. The cost? Towing, a new radiator, warped cylinder head, and nearly $5,000 in repairs. Her family trip turned into a week-long nightmare. The battery that died at the worst time. Anthony's dashboard lit up with the red battery symbol on his commute. He shrugged it off, thinking he could make it a few more days before checking. 3 nights later, while driving home in a thunderstorm, his headlights dimmed, his radio cut out, and then the entire car went dark. He lost power steering, brakes became heavy, and he coasted to a stop on the shoulder with semi-trucks flying by. What went wrong? His alternator had failed, and the battery alone couldn't keep the car alive. The cost? $800 for a new alternator. But the real price was the near-death experience on a pitch-black highway. The airbag that never deployed. Maria's car had been showing an airbag warning light for months. She ignored it, thinking airbags were just backup safety features. One rainy evening, she was rear-ended at an intersection. The impact was strong enough to trigger airbags, but hers never deployed. She walked away with a broken arm and severe bruising that could have been avoided. The cause? A faulty sensor disabled the entire airbag system. The result? Pain, medical bills, and the haunting thought that she could have been safer had she listened to her dashboard. The silent tire killer. Mark saw his tire pressure monitoring system light come on during winter. He figured it was just the cold air shrinking the tires, so he left it alone. Weeks later, while driving on the freeway, his underinflated tire overheated and blew out. His SUV fishtailed across 3 lanes before he regained control. The damage? A destroyed rim, shredded fender, and a shaken driver. The hidden cost? Insurance premiums that skyrocketed after the claim, the transmission light that spoke too late. Veronica noticed her transmission warning light flickering, but thought her car still felt fine. She kept commuting. One day, while accelerating onto the highway, the transmission overheated and locked into limp mode. She crawled at 20 miles per hour while traffic swerved dangerously around her. The failure? Burned transmission fluid and fried clutch packs. The bill? Over $4,000 for a rebuild. The hybrid warning. That ended a road trip. Ryan owned a hybrid SUV. On his family road trip, the hybrid system warning popped up. Thinking it was a minor software glitch, he kept driving. Hours later, in the middle of a national park, the car shut down completely, leaving them stranded with no cell service. What happened? The inverter had overheated and failed. The result? A week waiting for parts, and a vacation ruined the check engine gamble. Lily drove with her check engine light on for nearly 6 months. She passed emissions once by resetting the system and thought she was in the clear. But when the light started flashing one evening, she ignored it again. Minutes later, her catalytic converter overheated, filling the cabin with smoke. The cost? $1,800 for a new catalytic converter. The bigger loss? Realizing she gambled her own safety for procrastination. The seatbelt reminder that cost a life. In one tragic case, a teenage driver ignored the seatbelt warning chime. He argued seatbelts were uncomfortable and unnecessary for short trips. One rainy night, he swerved off the road and rolled his car. The airbags deployed, but without a seatbelt, he was ejected from the vehicle. He didn't survive. The warning light and chime weren't just annoying beeps, they were a voice that went unheard. Pop the hood, but never the radiator cap while hot. Boiling coolant can spray like a geyser. Carry distilled water or coolant in the trunk. Even a temporary top-up can save your engine until repairs. The battery light doesn't mean battery. Here's a common misconception. The red battery light almost never means your battery is bad. What it really means, the alternator isn't charging. The battery is just the victim. Mechanics joke, blaming the battery light on the battery is like blaming a dying phone on the screen instead of the charger. Tires lie, check them yourself. TPMS, tire pressure monitoring systems, are lifesavers, but mechanics know they can be lazy. Cold weather can trigger false alarms. Sensors fail often, especially in older cars, and most systems won't tell you which tire is low. Always keep a manual tire gauge. It's cheap, accurate, and tells the truth when sensors don't. Hybrid and EV warning lights are not optional. In hybrids and EVs, mechanics emphasize every warning light is serious. Why? High-voltage systems can kill not just your car, but you. Yellow hybrid warnings mean performance issues. Red ones mean potential electrical danger. Mechanics wear protective gloves and special training to work on these cars. If a warning pops up, Don't do it yourself. Call the pros. Resetting isn't repairing. Some drivers brag about resetting their check engine lights with a scanner. Mechanics laugh because they know this truth. Resetting only clears the symptom, not the cause. If you don't fix the root problem, the light always returns. It's like silencing a smoke alarm while the fire still burns. Warning lights. Love patterns. Mechanics are detectives. They look for patterns. A BS plus brake plus traction control lights, probably a wheel speed sensor, battery plus transmission plus power steering lights, likely an alternator failure, airbag plus seatbelt lights, often a damaged seatbelt buckle sensor. If multiple lights appear together, don't panic. They often point to one single problem, not three. Know the safe to drive versus stop now rule. Narrator, mechanics use a simple rule. Green, blue lights, just info. Safe to keep driving. Yellow/orange lights, drive cautiously, get checked soon. Red lights, stop immediately. Don't risk it, it's universal. Treat red lights like red traffic signals. Stop now, not later. The hidden dangers of ignoring warning chimes. Warning lights are paired with sounds, beeps, buzzes, alarms. Mechanics know when people ignore them, it's often worse than ignoring lights. A persistent seatbelt chime means your airbag system may not deploy correctly. A dinging brake chime means pressure is critically low. Don't silence warning sounds with tricks. They're the last line of defense between awareness and disaster. Seasonal warning light myths. Mechanics say winter is when most lights appear. Low tire pressure, weak batteries, coolant issues. Cold shrinks air, triggering TPMS. Cold drains weak batteries, triggering battery lights. Frozen coolant sensors can send false overheating warnings. But here's the hack. If a light appears only in extreme weather, don't dismiss it. Seasonal stress exposes weak components you'll eventually need to fix anyway. The survival kit every mechanic recommends. Mechanics always carry their own survival kit in their personal cars. What's inside? Tire gauge OBD2, scanner, spare coolant, and water jumper cables or portable jump starter. Flashlight basic first aid kit. Why? Because they know that when a light appears, it's not just about fixing, it's about surviving until help arrives. Mechanics' closing words. Dashboard lights aren't mysteries to mechanics. They're voices, pleas for attention, cries for help, whispers of danger. The difference between a $50 fix and a $5,000 disaster often comes down to how fast you listen. Remember, the best drivers aren't the fastest or boldest. They're the ones who treat their dashboards like gospel. Global dashboard symbol differences. What they don't tell you. Cars are universal machines, but their dashboards, they speak in different dialects depending on where in the world you're driving. A symbol that screams danger in Europe might be a mild suggestion in the US. A light that's standard in Asia might not even exist in South America. Welcome to the hidden world of regional dashboard differences, the secret codes that change across borders. America's dashboard language. Simplicity overload. In the US, dashboards tend to use words or letters alongside icons. Why? Because American regulators believe pictures alone might confuse drivers. The brake light in American cars is text-based. In Europe, it's just an exclamation mark inside a circle. The check engine light is text or a little outline of an engine. Europeans call it the MIL, malfunction indicator lamp, and rely solely on the pictogram. Mechanics joke that US dashboards talk too much, while European ones expect you to know the symbols. Europe's dashboard symbol overload. European cars favor symbols only, no text. The assumption is drivers should learn their cars like a second language. A BS, ESP, TPMS, all are just icons. Many European cars include fog light indicators, front and rear, because fog is more common there. In the US, most cars only show headlights. Diesel cars in Europe also feature a glow plug warning light, a curly yellow spring that American drivers often mistake for a malfunction. If you rent a car in Europe, take 5 minutes to study the manual. Otherwise, that glowing orange coil might leave you stranded. Asia's dashboard. Tech-heavy, culture-driven. Japanese and Korean cars often feature extra lights unique to their markets. shaped by culture and tech. Door ajar icons sometimes show which door is open, not just that one is. Some Japanese domestic cars include a snowflake warning light, reminding drivers of icy roads. In China, many cars have air quality indicators, warning of polluted outside air, something unheard of in most Western dashboards. Asian dashboards often feel like mini-computers, with layers of menus and alerts. In fact, Toyota and Honda have entire symbol sets that don't appear in export models. Middle East and hot climate dashboards. In desert regions, dashboards sometimes prioritize different alerts. Engine overheating lights are emphasized with stronger warnings. Some cars include sand filter maintenance lights, reminding owners to change special filters for dusty climates. Tire pressure systems are calibrated differently because desert heat can make tires swell instead of deflate. Mechanics there joke, in the Middle East, your coolant light is more important than your fuel light. Africa and developing markets, stripped down. In many African markets, dashboards are simplified to reduce cost and complexity. Some vehicles sold there omit tire pressure monitoring altogether. Check engine lights exist, but may not connect to full diagnostic systems. Instead of complex stability control icons, cars often just rely on ABS and brake lights. But here's the twist. Drivers in these regions often know their cars more intimately. Without fancy sensors, they listen to the engine, feel vibrations, and rely on instinct. Russia and harsh winter regions. In Russia and extreme cold regions, dashboards often include extra heating-related warnings. Battery heaters, block heaters, and glow plug systems trigger unique lights. Cold start warnings remind drivers to idle gently before accelerating. Some vehicles even have washer fluid low lights, critical in icy, salty roads where visibility can mean survival. Mechanics say, in Russia, if you ignore your dashboard, winter will remind you. Australia and off-road markets. In Australia, dashboards reflect off-road priorities. Four-wheel drive system lights are common, showing whether you're in 2H, 4H, or 4L modes. Some models feature hill descent control lights, rare in American sedans. Fuel range meters are more precise, since distances between stations can be enormous. Many Australian dashboards include wildlife collision alerts tied to driver assist tech. Kangaroo warnings are real EV dashboards, a whole new language. Electric vehicles introduced entirely new warning lights that differ across continents. In Europe, EVs often use turtle mode icons, a little turtle that warns of reduced performance when the battery is nearly dead. In the US, the same alert may just read, reduced power. Chinese EVs sometimes feature battery health meters, showing long-term degradation. Mechanics say the EV dashboard wars have only begun. Expect a decade of confusion before global standardization. Why the differences exist. Why can't the world agree on one set of symbols? The answer lies in culture and regulation. Europe trusts drivers to study manuals. America assumes drivers won't read manuals, so it adds text. Asia tailors warnings to tech-heavy societies in unique weather. Developing markets cut costs by keeping dashboards minimal. The result? A patchwork of dashboard languages. Drive in enough countries, and your car might start speaking a foreign tongue. The danger of globalization. There's a hidden risk. Cars today are global products, and many dashboards carry symbols from multiple regions. A US driver may see a glow plug light in a diesel import and have no clue what it means. A European driver may rent an American car and be baffled by check engine spelled out in words. An Asian driver may miss critical fog or traction symbols in cars not adapted for their climate. Confusion kills. A universal system is long overdue. The push for standardization. Believe it or not, the United Nations has tried to standardize dashboard symbols under the Vienna Convention on Road Traffic. Many countries adopted the rules, but not all. Europe follows most of the standard pictograms. The US resists, preferring its text-heavy approach. Asia and Africa pick and choose based on need. Until there's true global agreement, dashboards will remain a Tower of Babel. Your dashboard is your car's voice, but just like human languages, it changes depending on where you are. Symbols that look like riddles to one driver are second nature to another. Don't assume your instincts will save you when traveling abroad or driving imported cars. Learn the language of your dashboard before you hit the road, because whether it speaks in words or symbols, warnings are universal, they mean your life depends on paying attention. The future of warning lights, EVs, hybrids, and AI cars. The age of dashboard lights as we know it is ending. Traditional gas-powered warning lights, engine oil, coolant, fuel, are slowly fading into history. Replacing them is a new language of alerts, born in the age of electric vehicles, hybrids, artificial intelligence, and autonomous driving. Your next car may not warn you about an overheating engine at all, because it doesn't have one. Instead, it will warn you about a failing lithium-ion cell, a corrupted software update, or an AI driver that refuses to engage. Welcome to the future of warning lights, an evolution that will redefine how drivers and passengers interact with cars. EV dashboards, the silent revolution. In an electric vehicle, many old warning lights simply don't exist. No oil pressure light, no exhaust sensor, no fuel gauge in the traditional sense. Instead, EVs carry an entirely new set of icons. Battery state of charge, SOC. Instead of a fuel gauge, you monitor electrons. High voltage system alert. A symbol that looks like a triangle with a lightning bolt warns of dangerous current. A quirky but critical light. When your battery is so low that the car limits performance, a turtle appears on your dash. EVs rely on complex charging systems. If one fails, you may be stranded. The symbol is often a plug crossed out. In an EV, your fuel is invisible, silent, and fragile. Your dashboard is your lifeline. The complicated middle ground. Hybrids combine gas and electric power, which means they combine old warning lights with new ones. Drivers of hybrids face some of the busiest dashboards in history. You'll still see check engine lights, oil warnings, and coolant alerts, but you'll also see EV-style warnings.